Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful rice paper sail for our cakes, like as a decoration for our cakes. So rice paper sails look really cute. They look really cute when you paint them gold or when you just leave them plain white or just add like a little touch of color. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make it with a little touch of color, and I'm also going to be showing you how to make it gold like the one I used on this cake. So if that's something you like, let us get into today's video. Goal for our channel is to get to 20,000 subscribers before the end of the year or before Vlogmas. So if you're watching for the first time, please click the like button, smash the subscribe button, and leave a comment, and let us get into today's video. To make this sail, we need a silicone mat, or if you wanted it to not be as smooth as mine was, if you just want it to be a sail, you can use your parchment paper. But I wanted mine to be really smooth and shiny because I knew I was going to be painting it gold, and I couldn't get any silicone mat in Warri, Delta State, Nigeria. So I had to make do with what I could get, which is this beautiful silicone envelope. So I bought a brand new silicone envelope, cut it into 2 pieces, and I'm going to be rubbing some Crisco or vegetable oil on it so that my sails don't stick to it when they're ready. So a couple of things we're going to be needing. We're going to be needing a bowl with water, a wide bowl with water, because you do not want a bowl that is too small for the rice paper. Then you're also going to be needing a few pegs. You're going to be needing your silicone mat or this envelope paper that I used, and then you're going to be needing your rice paper. So first thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be folding our silicone mat. Now, if you have a silicone mat, that's fine. If you don't, you can buy this envelope and use it like I did. It's readily available in most bookstores. So you clip the edge and then try to make it look exactly like you'd like it to look for the sail that you're making. And then you're going to be needing 3 rice paper. This is how the rice paper come when you buy them. They sell them in packs, but in Warri it's available to buy like 1 or 2 pieces. And since I was going to be needing just 2 for the cake, I decided to buy 3. So the first thing, you put your rice paper in the water. How you know that it's soft enough for you to use is that you do not have any of the patterns that came with the rice paper. Now that's going to happen if you leave it for about 3 to 5 minutes. So all I did was just put the 3 of them in the water, making sure that there's water in between all of them, and then leaving it for about 5 minutes so that it can get really soft, and then we can continue on our design. Now you leave it in the water for a few minutes, make sure that it is soft enough, it has absorbed the water, that you do not see any sign of the pattern. If you can see, there's no more pattern on it, so stretch it out a little bit, stretch it out fully. You can see there's no pattern, it's just plain, kind of like a nylon paper. So all I'm going to be doing is transferring it to our prepared silicone mat or envelope. So make sure you stretch it because it is going to dry in this pattern. So stretch it, make sure that it forms the pattern that you really want it to have after it is done. I wanted mine to be really long and have that sharp edge at the bottom. So if you want to put it on your buttercream cake and you want more stability, you can put a toothpick at the edge. You can put a toothpick there to attach your rice paper to your toothpick. But because I do not want a toothpick, I wanted to attach it directly onto the fondant cake to give it more stability. All I did was just put it on the paper, stretch it out, make sure it was smooth, make sure that I had the exact pattern that I wanted, and then we moved on to the other one. If you can see, I'm trying to smooth out any bubbles, because if you don't smooth it out, it's going to form those bubbles when you are ready. So when you're smoothing it out, if it's getting a little bit difficult, you can just apply a little water to it and you're good to go. So we're going to be doing the second one as well, because I wanted both of them to be a little bit similar. If you can see, all the pattern is gone. The second rice paper, so I'm going to be placing it on the mat as well, and then all we're going to be doing is leaving them to dry If you can see, look at it clearly, there's no pattern. It's just this soft squeegee nylon like paper. So just apply it, make sure it's smooth. So like I said before, make sure you smoothen it out. If you see all those bubbles, if you don't want them, make sure you're smoothing them out. Make sure the edge is as smooth as you want it to be. While you're smoothing it out, if it's getting too dry or it's not as flexible to move, just put a little drop of water on it and you're good to go. So take your time. Make sure you take your time at this point. You cannot come back to this point if you miss it. So make sure you take your time smoothing it out. Make sure you get the right pattern that you want it to be like when it is done right now, or else by the time it's dry you won't be able to do that again. So after doing all that, I decided to make a little cone one. So to do this cone one, all I did was put some cling film on this cone pan that I had, and then I'm going to be dropping my rice paper on it as well, because I wanted it to form like a little cup that I'm going to be using for my buttercream cake. I want to put a few chocolates and sweets on it. So stretch it out again. I wanted one side to be longer than the other, and that's what I'm doing. And then all you have to do is leave it to dry. So leaving it to dry, there are different ways you can dry it. You can just leave it out for 24 hours and it should be dry enough. You can place it in the oven with the lowest heat and with your oven open, and it should dry faster. Because of my silicone paper, I didn't want to place it in the oven. So what I did, I have a heating cupboard. Now a heating cupboard is just a simple cupboard that you have that has this light that's not the energy saving light. So I usually use it to dry out my flowers and other fondant decorations, but today we're going to be using it to dry out my rice paper. So all you do is place it in the heating cupboard, cover it, and by the time you come in a few hours, because of the heat that's generated from the light bulb, the heating cupboard helps you to dry out the rice paper very fast. So that's what I did, because well, I do not have any patience. So after drying it out, this is what it looks like. It looks like a really nice transparent cup, as you can see. So I'm going to be using it for another cake. Don't worry, we're going to use it together. So this is what I wanted. Now when my rice paper was almost ready, I tied it to the cake. I steamed the cake, applied a little moisture, that's water, and then tied it to the cake using these two ribbons, and then put my cake in the heating cupboard so that it can dry up with the rice paper. So that's the easy way I attach my rice paper to my fondant decorated cake. It would have been easier if it was a buttercream cake. So I just tied it. Now I'm going to just take out the ribbons, because I wanted it to dry up. If you can see, it has really dried up and it has attached to the body of the cake. So that's a very easy way for you to attach your rice paper to a fondant cake. Now after doing that, I dropped a little color on it. I don't like it with the color, so now we're going to be painting it gold. So all I'm using is my gold dust, and then I'm going to be applying it on the rice paper to achieve the gold look. So you do not want to paint it before attaching it, or else by the time you touch it and in trying to attach it, your gold dust is you're just going to end up with a mess. So make sure you have attached it to your cake and then paint. Make sure you paint the back, front and the back, because if you don't paint behind the back of it, you can see it becomes really transparent. So make sure you paint both front and the back so that it has a really beautiful shine like we have here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope it was helpful to you. If you haven't, please don't forget to like, comment, leave a comment letting me know how helpful this tutorial was to you. Then to finish up the cake, I'm just going to be steaming it so that I can get rid of any excess icing sugar that's on it and also give it that beautiful clean finish. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video or my next tutorial. Bye, guys.